Talking Detroit Pistons versus the Atlanta Hawks. We're going to talk about both games, really. The Detroit Pistons versus the Atlanta Hawks. Well, look, we've got some level of improvement, right? First game, look, the game against Washington really sucked. There's no way to put it. As a Detroit fan, you watch the Washington game and you sink your head down and you think this is going to be a long season. But man, none of the guys are playing to their potential. And I think as Detroit fans, we're going to accept that this is going to be a long season. And maybe there's light at the end of the tunnel. But development of the players are what we need to see, right? So the Atlanta Hawks, the first game, 113, close game. Cade Cunningham finally breaks the shackles. Well, at least in the first half. And look, let's talk about the second game and let's just summarize the score lines. Obviously, it blows out in the second game against the Atlanta Hawks. I'm not even going to go against the score line, but in both the games, Cade comes out aggressive. And there are two things. One is for this team to take the next step forward, we need an alpha scorer. And I mean, Cade looked every bit that guy for the first half in both the games. I mean, let's talk about the most recent one. What is the scoreline? You know, he's average. He had a career high. 35, 8, and 9. Cade Cunningham. What can we say? At his best, he needs to be attacking the ball. He's an ball-centric player, utilizing the mismatches that he has in terms of size. Especially, look, he feasted against the Atlanta guards. The diminutive Trae Young had nothing on him. Trae Young doesn't play any defense as well. So it remains to be seen if Cade can continue this level of scoring against, bigger and stronger guards. But he needed these two games just to get out of the funk and just to put, anything out of his mind that he is the guy for Detroit, at least in the scoring department. Now, two things in these games against Atlanta, which is really important. The first game against Atlanta, Jaden Ivey wasn't playing. In the second game, they staggered them both. And I think it's interesting because even in these two games, all of the damage that K did was in the mid range and close to the basket. So he is not shooting well from three at all. Jaden is not shooting well from three at all. And there are serious concerns, very early, obviously, as to whether these two guys can coexist if none of them can shoot the three-pointer very well. It's almost like a Killian Hayes situation, whereas Jaden offers a little bit more. And there's no doubt that, I wouldn't say deferring is the word, but Cade was definitely trying to get Jaden into the offense. And when Jaden was not there, it was a very simplified offense, and it was an ISO-heavy offense, and it almost is reminiscent of DeMar DeRozan. In fact, in the fact of how mid-range heavy Cade's attack was, and he was shooting these at a high clip. Look, the second half against both Hawks games, I'm not too sure if he's the guy that you want to be riding in terms of scoring your most points, because he got tired. And when he gets tired, he gets sloppy. The lift isn't there. And to keep popping those mid-ranges, it's an offensive burden. And right now he doesn't have a number two that's consistently being the word. Sometimes it's Sadiq Bey. Sometimes it's Jaden Ivey. And I think in the most recent Hawks game, being able to tag team with Jaden and Cade, there was a period in the first and second quarter when they were not both at the together, but they were able to be the offensive focal points, in their respective lineups. And I think that going forward, it's very hard to assess this team when clearly they're missing individuals that were a massive part of the team. Marvin Bagley, was meant to be there for interior scoring. And right now, no one, including Jaren Duran, can catch a lob that Cade's sending. And it makes life so much easier for him. No one's setting good screens for Cade. So look, it's a step in the right direction. And right now, as Detroit fans, we need to see it. Jaden Ivey, it's a really mixed bag at the moment. He's playing through some level of injury, at least in the second game. It's hard. I almost think that he needs to take a leaf out of Cade's book and, I wouldn't say abandon the outside shot, but focus on attacking the rim. And that's where Jaden Ivey is at his best. And to certain points, this team is almost unselfish to a fault. Like no one almost wants to finish these shots, or they've been blocked so much. And I think our interior, there's a major deficit there against the Hawks. You know, you had Anyeka unleash against us, and we are severely undersized. Every second chance play seemingly goes to the opposition forwards. So we need size. I don't know when we intend to get Jalen Duren, but we need to play him. I mean, we're not winning games, and the defense isn't getting any better at this stage. I know it probably sends. Yeah, it's a balancing act. It's definitely a balancing act, and the last two games were a step in the right direction, at least to solidify, Cade as that guy. And the most recent game, he scored at 60%. So he needs to score at an efficiency like that to make him a viable threat. And he was flirting with a triple double. But man, there's no defense. Like I don't understand still how. Yeah, from a defensive perspective, there's breakdowns in the communication. There's dribble penetration left, right, and center, and we've got no block threat even with Jalen Duren at the back. It's a turnstile. So look, it's going to be a long season. At least we got Cade back. The next couple of games are against the the elite team. So hopefully we can score one or two wins against some of these guys. But really, I'm looking for improvement. I'm looking for Jaden to have a Jaden Ivey game that's going to get him going. I'm looking for K to maintain this level of offensive dominance. And I'm looking for some of the other guys to step up. Look, Sadiq Bey looks lost at the moment in the offense. There's I'm not. There's no clear pecking order. It doesn't look like his shooting stroke is there, and his free throw is really shaky. Isaiah Stewart is Isaiah Stewart. He's doing the best that he can, but we need Marvin Bagley. We need Nerlens Noel. I never thought I'd say that. We need some size in the interior because he's overmatched night in, night out, and he's really the only one holding the fort there. So look, better, but it's going to be a long season. Piston fans, what did you think? Were you happy? Were you at least excited that, Cade got out of his scoring doldrums? What do you think? Give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and leave some comments below.